Hello, everyone. Today, we will be sharing another topic that has taken its place in the dusty pages of history. So, if we have our coffees ready, let's begin our journey. I'll be your captain and pilot, and my crew and I will do our best to make this a witty and humorous trip. It is such a war that you will find yourself saying, "How did this even happen?" The Vietnam War, you know, or think you know. You know, that legendary fiasco where the United States starred in the movie called We Tried to Save Democracy and ended up stuck in a swamp. While one side knew the jungles like their own backyard, the other was in, "Hold on, let me check the map. This might be my neighbor's fence" mode. The result? Plenty of swearing, countless misunderstandings, and a truckload of "we really should have never left home" memories. Get ready, this isn't a history lesson. It's practically a dark comedy. Fasten your seatbelts, our flight is taking off. What kind of war is this? First, the French showed up. Apparently, they didn't find what they were looking for, so they may have suddenly changed their minds and said, "Nah, man, this place isn't for me. There's probably no cake here," and left. But why did they leave? Did we somehow get promoted in the colonialism business? In fact, everything really begins after World War II. Vietnam had been France's wooden toy for many years. Then a certain guy stepped onto the stage, Ho Chi Minh, and said, "Enough, gentlemen, we'd like to do our own thing now." When Vietnam declared independence, France went, "Wait, what? What are you doing there?" and rushed back, gathering their toys as they went. Uncle Ho, of course, didn't just sit around. Using guerrilla tactics, he drove the French absolutely crazy. At Dien Bien Phu, the French took such a beating that they finally cracked and said, "All right, fine, you can have all the toys," and ran off without even looking back. And then, who was preparing to enter the stage? Of course, like a superhero, here comes the United States. As if it had nothing better to do, it was now going to save Vietnam. France couldn't handle it, but we're a modern army. We'll go play there a bit. What could possibly go wrong? And besides, what could the Vietnamese even do to us, they said. Kids, let me tell you a secret. Never underestimate anyone. They could do a lot, as you're about to see. With the French gone, the field was empty, and someone had to fill the gap. So please move along. There are plenty of empty seats on the plane. America had a theory. If communism was coming, you'd knock over one domino tile, then the others would fall one by one, and bingo. Here's the scenario in America's head. It's the Cold War, and communism is spreading like a virus. If Vietnam becomes communist, then right next door, Laos will follow, then Thailand, then Japan, then the Pacific Ocean itself. And before you know it, they'll be putting up a Lenin statue in San Francisco. Absolutely terrifying, like one of Freddy's nightmares. This wildly exaggerated doomsday scenario was called the domino theory. You know how when one domino falls, they all go down? Exactly that logic. So what do you do when you're this scared? Naturally, you send soldiers to another country on the other side of the world to stop communists. Distance doesn't matter, Uncle. We can reach anywhere. First, they sent advisors, then a few more advisors, then way, way more advisors. And once they started pouring in lots of money, they said, "All right, this war is officially our war now." It's basically a case of hyping yourself up. Then suddenly you go, "Wait a second, this place is a swamp. Why did nobody mention this earlier?" But by then, you're already in the swamp, flailing around, desperately looking for a life preserver. Bring on the donuts. Jungle warfare is about to begin. Hot, humid, places where mosquitoes go on family picnics, and above all, extremely irritating. Now imagine America's shiny young soldiers landing in Vietnam with their cutting-edge weapons. Oh, where's the welcome? Where are the Hawaiian girls? Apparently, Houston, we have a problem. These Vietnamese don't use the jungle the way we do, like something to burn in a fireplace. They used it like a home. They dug tunnels, set traps, popped out from everywhere to say hello and then vanished.
like Tom from Tom and Jerry endlessly trying and failing to catch Jerry. Naturally, things got a bit heated. America launched search and destroy operations, burned villages, and stripped forests bare with a chemical called Agent Orange. But it was all in vain. No one could tell who was a friend and who was an enemy. Villagers could be farmers by day and Viet Cong by night. Could a soldier call his mother and cry, "Mom, this place is like an amusement park, but not a fun one"? He could, because this place was a complete nightmare, something beyond even a horror movie.
The Tet Offensive. As if everything was fine, it wasn't. You know how politicians kept pumping the American public with "everything is going great, we're winning the war" talk? The generals on TV were always smiling, if you buy that, of course. Then came the Tet holiday of 1968. Just when everyone was thinking, let's take a little break, North Vietnam and the Viet Cong launched a coordinated, simultaneous attack on hundreds of cities and military bases across South Vietnam. Sounds like a joke, right? It's like the enemy says, "We're at war," and you reply, "Whoa, hold on, there's peace here." And then suddenly you get hit over the head with a sledgehammer. That's exactly what happened. Militarily, the United States managed to repel the attacks, but the public had had enough and started asking, all right, what's going on here? Weren't we told we were winning the war? If we're winning, how are these guys able to come and go wherever they want? That question was suddenly on everyone's lips, and it became the turning point of the war. From then on, no one believed the United States was going to win. Strange, isn't it? So, what happened after the offensive? After 30 years and countless losses, the United States basically said, all right, folks, time to say goodbye. I've got a lot of other things to do. I still need to go to space and wave at the Russians. After the Tet Offensive, anti-war protests in America went through the roof. The country was badly worn down by the war, muddy, bruised, and exhausted. Instead of being sent to Vietnam, young people at the time were roaming university campuses in flower-patterned shirts, protesting the situation in their own way. As things in America began to change and wear out, along came Nixon, saying, "I'm your guy." And of course, he didn't sit still. He introduced a concept called Vietnamization. In short, what he meant was, let's get out and let the South Vietnamese handle things on their own. We're done dealing with this. It was like telling your kid, from now on, make your own food, even though the kid is still too small and might starve. Then, peace talks began in Paris. After long, absurd, and intrigue-filled negotiations, an agreement was signed, and the United States withdrew. Of course, no one really stuck to the agreement. 2 years later, North Vietnam marched into South Vietnam, Saigon fell, and the war ended in a humiliating defeat for the United States. The mighty U.S. lost to a small country. In truth, there were no real winners in this war. Both sides suffered heavy material and moral damage and eventually decided to put an end to it. And the domino theory? Who said that? Laos and Cambodia did become communist, but then what happened? Did the world collapse? No. The funny thing is, today, Vietnam is one of America's major trading partners. Yes, friends, we have come to the end of this flight. We hope we were able to make you comfortable throughout the journey. On behalf of myself, your captain and pilot, and the entire flight crew, I invite you to relax a bit with some classical music. Until we meet again on our next flight, goodbye.
一段写字一直有它漫画欣赏，我的一举一动随你改变多荒唐，任你肆意晃动，从没去想你是有多嚣张。我的心脏脉搏为你跳动，为你狂。你说我真的独一无二离开流浪，都怀疑我被治愈我的伤。你的棋子一直有它把花欣赏，我的一举一动 随你改变多荒唐，让你肆意遗忘，能从没去想你是有多嚣张。我的心脏脉搏为你跳动，为你狂。你说我真的都一步步离开流浪，都怪我没治愈我的伤。